All right, my friends. All right. Yes, it's that time again. It's time for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin podcast. I truly appreciate it. You all joining me. Hey, we got another great conversation. That's all I can say. We have another great conversations in store for you all. We have a gentleman who I am a fan of. I talk a lot about kind of being an independent a lot on this show. As you know, I'm an independent myself, so I'm always thrilled to have individuals that is saying, hey, look, I'm not married to a party. I try to stay in the middle because at the end of the day, we can all come together, work for the greater good, right? So I actually have some notes. I'm trying to get a little professional for you all for 2024. Let me actually do my professional intro. Okay. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin podcast, a show where we discuss trending stories and topics from the fields of politics, sports, and pop culture. Changing the narrative is my mission. Arrington's mission. My mission, and to help do that, I bring on individuals from all walks of life. See, guys, I'm trying to get professional for you people. Arrington, what do you mean, you people? Shut up. You know what I mean. Jeez, don't cancel me. I'm not that famous yet. But if you do, hey, that might be a good thing. Anyway, like I mentioned before, I have a gentleman on the show, Mr. Nicholas Olenik, and I hope I'm pronouncing the last name right because it's been a while since I've been in school. So hopefully, my reading comprehension is still on par. But Nicholas, a little bit about Nicholas. He was a former candidate for Virginia House of Delegate District 96, which was a good portion of the Virginia Beach city. If you're familiar with the state of Virginia, Virginia Beach is probably the largest city population-wise, one of the most known and popular cities in the Hampton Roads area. We've have known figures like Pharrell, Timbaland, who else is from the Virginia Beach area? So many others. I can't think of it, but I have Pharrell in my head right now because remember on the last show I spoke about the $3,000 Louis Vuitton lunch bag. I have not overcame that, guys. I'm gonna tell you that right now. My mind is like, look, Pharrell, I know you got this great position with Louis Vuitton, but damn it, Pharrell, you were not raised to with $3,000 fucking see, I'm cussing already. Look, calm down. Sorry, guys. As you see, I got a little red wine back here. Anyways, he ran in Nicholas Olenik. He ran as an independent, but is really his political journey is not the main reason. Well, it kind of is, but I'm gonna tell you a little more interesting about this gentleman. So he's a veteran. He has a remarkable story about a support animal, right? So when you see someone with a support animal, majority of the time you see a dog, right? A German Shepherd, any kind of animal, right? But mainly dogs. My man has a pet emu. Yeah, that's what I said too. Wait, what? How did he get a? Yeah. So when you're like going and say, "Oh man, pet your dog," no, you're gonna come to this house and be like, "Hey, can I pet your emu? Is that okay? Is that okay? Is that fine? All right." Anyway, enough of my freaking rambling. Without further ado, the man of the hour. I'm so excited to have him on, ladies and gents, Mr. Nicholas Olenik. Nicholas, how you doing, my friend?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Live audience. I like that.
Hey, what can I say? I mean, it's people don't really respect it and they don't believe me when I say I'm in front of a live audience. It's like,
Yeah.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you sit down, please? Thank you. Anyway, man, I truly appreciate it. Welcome to the Arrington Gavin pod. First of all, how you doing, sir? I love the setup, by the way.
Thank you. This is my little office. I ran my entire campaign from it. It is the room over the garage at my house. I literally turned it into like a big bar. Like this is where we host meetings and everything.
That is so dope. Okay, so I'm already jealous of this guy because I'm in a townhome, so I have a nice bar set up, but it's like I don't have that man cave yet. I feel like that's like that's a good privacy man cave right there.
Yeah, I got the coolest little man cave. I mean, this is where I hang out. This is where I drink my wine and smoke my weed and try and rule the world. This is my little Pinky in the Brain castle. Like this is where we try to take over the world.
Man, let's kind of backtrack. So now, Nick, are you originally from Hampton Roads? Are you originally from the Hampton Roads, Virginia area?
Born and raised in Kimsville.
Wow.
41 years of my life in the 23464. I even got 23464 tattooed on my arm.
That is
How many people?
crazy. That is awesome. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And yes, folks, 41 years old. I was joking with this guy backstage. I'm like, bro, you're not 41. Like I look like I could be like at least 50 years older than you. No, he's like, no, I'm 41. I'm like, all right, I'm jealous.
My daughter graduated from high school last year.
That is okay. Now you're killing me. See, this is definitely the opposites right here on this show, because the saying is black don't crack. Now it's like I reverse it on this show. They're gonna say, I don't know, Arrington. You might need to think of it.
Hey, I like to say weed and wine keep you fine.
Oh, weed and wine keeps you fine. Definitely put that on the t-shirt.
Keep it organic, and live a youthful life.
Man, I love it. I love it. Well, look, so before we get on to your, before we get into politics, man, let's tell a little, right, the folks a little bit about you. So I'll mention it in the beginning of this, of the intro. You have a very, you made national headlines, really. I mean, all the news outlets had, spoken about your story, about a friend, about a support animal, a pet that you have. Can you share a little bit about that story for us?
All right, so me and my army buddy, when he got out of he retired from the army, we decided to get pet emus together because they're emotional support animals. So if you ever see a cute baby, like 2-week-old emu chick, you'll notice you'll understand right away. They are just the cutest little things that need you forever and ever until they grow up to 6 feet tall. But we ended up getting them a pair of emus together, and we registered them as emotional support animals, legally registered them, everything, got a note from therapists, all that good jazz. We went through the effort of finding out what legally was required to have an emotional support animal, and we realized it could be anything we wanted. Literally, there are no restrictions to what an emotional support animal could be. And I literally set the precedent saying that an emotional support animal can be livestock, it can be poultry, it can be a dog, it can be a cat, it can be a snake, it can be an alligator. It really doesn't define exactly what it needs to be. It just has to be prescribed by a doctor. So we went down that avenue, and then I got arrested for owning it.
You're a danger to our society. Lock this man up.
I made it 40 years of my life without ever having anything but like a traffic speeding ticket. I got in trouble for owning an emu. Now they charged me. It's the same fine as having like an outdoor cat, a cat at large. So $50 fine, $50 fine. Right? I could have paid it. I totally could have, but then I would have agreed they were right when they were wrong. I read the law. I asked a couple lawyer friends to read the law, and they said, no, you're 100% right. So they literally picked a fight with the wrong person. I had nothing better to do than prove myself right. The reason I qualify for an emotional support animal is I'm what they called oppositional defiant. Just because you're my authority figure, something inside here will make me want to defy you. So this has been literally the best therapy tool ever. And my doctor even agreed. Like, I don't need medication or anything for, no, let me just keep doing this because now I found the fun fight of liberty. Why can't I have, why do I have to have an animal, a pet, a friend that meets your definition of what one should be? Why can't I do my own thing? Aren't we in the freest country in the world? I can't own a bird. My neighbor's got a parakeet. Nobody coming at her for a parakeet. My emu lived inside, literally lived inside, slept in the little pack and play baby cribs. That's what she lived in my master bedroom when we went to bed at night. I mean, I got pictures of her cuddling in bed, everything. I got video of her just hanging out with my golden retriever and my boxer and just chilling. She thought she was a dog.
That is hilarious. Hey, talk about a date night after a party. Hey, what is that? Oh, that's my emu. A 6-foot emu just stretches up like.
So I live on a corner lot, so my backyard is exposed on half of it going around with the sidewalk. All of my neighbors, all of the kids used to come over and hang out and play with them. They used to throw their leftover spoiling like lettuce and celery and kale in my backyard for her to eat, and just they knew
Wow.
how to call her, and she'd just run right on up to play with them. Amazon guys would stop and take pictures and hang out for like hours, just like, yeah, this guy's got an emu. The only reason people knew I had it is because I used to walk it around on a leash and harness. Whenever the old ladies on my street would walk their dogs, I'd go out and join them with my emu.
Morning,
Um,
Gladys. Hey, how you doing? Yeah.
those those same ladies can't take their dogs on the Virginia Beach oceanfront beach, but I can take my emu.
That is priceless. That is what I'm talking about. So look, man. So one thing about this story, though, like you said, it opened a lot of doors, and because honestly, like most people they do not know this law. Like they don't know, like, okay, support animal your support anything, your support figure, it can be anything. That's one thing that was amusing, because like, wait a minute, I can have this, because I kind of go with what the public kind of sees is just okay, a dog, mainly a dog, right? That's literally like what it kind of markets, it promotes that publicly. But you change it up, you have a pet emu, and where did you like where did you get the emu from?
Hickory, or actually not Hickory, Northwest River Park right there in Chesapeake.
Yep.
It's about 10 minutes from my house. Huge emu farm. You have no idea how many emus exist in Chesapeake. I can probably, wherever you are, I can take you to an emu farm in all cardinal directions within 30 minutes of a drive. Anywhere you are in Chesapeake.
Well, we're taking this podcast on the road.
We're gonna go really good. Emus. You said earlier that I was a veteran. I'm not, but a lot of veterans and the people that got me into the emus are veterans. Okay. So that's how I learned about it. I never served, but they did. But I did learn about it through like SEAL Team 6 veterans are getting these all over the place, because every little boy wanted a little velociraptor growing up. They are the current evolution of a velociraptor. They literally are.
Wow.
Now they're very cool, and I would say any animal that has empathy can be an emotional support animal. Now, my animal was not allowed on airplanes or in restaurants. I did not have the federal clearance for that, but I was allowed to have any animal I wanted at my house to help me in my therapy of getting better. That's the way the law is written. I can't take it into a restaurant. If I did, they could say you can't have that here. Okay. For airplane travel and restaurant use and certain things like that, they only recognize dogs or miniature ponies.
Okay.
You can take a miniature pony on an airplane. The goal was never for me to take my bird anywhere. It was just for me to have my cool friend hanging out in the back. She gave me a reason to wake up every morning. I lost my brother in 9/9/19. My brother never knew what the word COVID was. So I lost him to a heart attack out in California. He was I'm older than him now, so he was 39 when he passed away. And then after that, like a couple months down and depressed, COVID happened. A couple months after that, my dad died of lung cancer just out of nowhere. They diagnosed him 9 weeks before, and he passed out. So I didn't have to work at that point, so I just fell apart. Wow. My birds, my emu, my ducks and chickens are what gave me a reason to wake up again. Everybody was like, oh, get back on up there. Let's give you prescription medicine. No, I don't really want those. So that's when me and a friend went down other paths. My best friend and his wife both were getting out of the Army with PTSD, and they went out and started an animal rescue ranch out in Tennessee. That's what they went and did. I'm not ready to leave this area yet. I still have to take care of my mom and my aunt. They're the last of my lineage. Besides me, my wife and daughter, my mom and my aunt are the last of my family alive. You know, they're still here in Virginia Beach wanting to be here. The moment they don't need me here, I'm gone. I'm going to move out to a place that has better laws, better freedoms, you know, where they don't care what type of animal you have running around your backyard. I got a 1/4 acre backyard. I got a huge backyard compared to most people. It's not like, it's not like I don't have the room for what I have. But they give me reason to wake up. Like I said, I'm retired at 41. My friends I drink coffee with every morning, all my birds, my emu, we used to go out and drink coffee every morning and just listen to some smooth jazz, you know, coffee time, little YouTube smooth jazz, hang out, and just all the kids walking to the bus stop would stop by, see my birds, hang out with them. Even moved the bus stop a little bit because the kids were always hanging out there right on my corner, just watching my birds. My favorite out of all of them, because I don't have my emu right now. They made me get rid of my bird before I won my case. The city of Virginia Beach was like, if you don't get rid of your bird, we won't give you a continuance. So I had my friend watch my bird in Tennessee. Then the next court case, I won with prejudice to where I can have it. You get what I'm saying? Like, the city didn't know what they were talking about. I win. The law stands and says I'm allowed to have this animal. I'm currently in the process of suing the city of Virginia Beach again, because after 2 days, after I won my court case with prejudice in the 2nd District Court system, they sent a representative over to harass me again. So that is continued harassment for the exact same issue. So we just sent the December 27th, me and my lawyer sent a cease and desist letter to the city manager and the city attorney to leave me alone. Otherwise, we would come at them with a lawsuit 10 times my property value they're harassing me at. And I would like them to explain to the constituents of their city why they legally had to give Nicholas Olenik, the emu guy, the independent, $5 million instead of just leaving me alone on my private property. Not hurting anybody, right? If y'all, I've given them a year and half a year of trying to leave me alone, but they kept coming. Do you know I've been in court for a year? Next week will be 1 year in court for everything, just constantly. Do you know how much it costs me to take the city to court? Do you know how much it costs them to represent themselves every single day in court, tax dollar wise?
Wow.
They got to pay everybody involved salary just to show up and argue with me. All I want to do is be left alone. They keep bringing this fight on them, so the only way to teach them is to financially drain their bank account. Give me, and the going rate for harassment of an individual by a city is 10 times the property value. Well, I live in Kempsville. I have a really nice house.
This is crazy. So much I want to tap in from what you just said. So the first thing I want to say is it was awesome to hear the fact that you had a friend that was also going through complications, going through his own personal depressions,
and his wife,
and you all came together and said, you know what, we have to help each other out. We have to find a way, because mental health now was continuing to be more and more spoken about. It's always been a serious thing, but it's more open, especially for men. And I've had the conversation on my pod and my radio show, because even as in the Black community, let's be honest, mental health, we do not, like, come on, man up. That was the thing, and really men in general. Man up was that thing how you were raised. So I think it's awesome the fact that hearing this story, you all saying, hey, look, we got to take care of ourselves, coming together, working together, and finding solutions to do so without causing any harm to your body. I love that story. I want to kind of tie into now. I see one of your campaign sign right behind you. You made the choice to run. You made the choice to run for for office, man. You said, hey, look, I'm going to take that leap of faith. I have an issue that is going on in my community, and I want to I want to make a run at Virginia House of Delegate. Now, at the time, they already had a Democratic nominee as well as a Republican nominee, but you said no. Oh,
no. When I got in, I was the second. Kelly Fowler, I have all the receipts to back this up. Kelly Fowler challenged me to run against her on Facebook. She said, I like to post, I'm a troll, I like to post hashtag incumbents out on every politician that I don't agree with. It's the safest, easiest thing. It's incumbent out. Let's cycle them. Come on, let's wash them on out. It gives the automatic term limits. Let's just cycle out incumbents. Well, she picked a fight with me, was rude with me, and said, well, who are you voting for? There is not a single Republican challenger. Well, it was after that text was after the primary date for you to be a Republican and get on the ballot. So I looked in, I even stated, I said, well, just read the law. I'd have to run as an independent because it's past the primary date, but I think I can afford it. So I just gathered one friend. My whole campaign was me and one high school buddy that I trust more than anything. And we just went to town. He knew everybody to talk to, and he just aimed my voice. And so just because Kelly Fowler was a little pompous and challenged me and was so cocky at her rule, I had to. All right, I got money. I don't need anybody's money. Everybody wanted to give me money and direct me way. I kept telling all the super PACs that liked me more than the Republican candidate that they snuck in after me. I was like, don't give me your money. If you give me money, I'm going to donate it to the Special Olympics in my name. You should just do it in your name. So I don't need your money.
So what was your reasoning to run in the beginning? Like, what was your reason to run for office?
That way she was challenged. She should never just walk in and have there should be an opponent in every race. Did I ever think I might make a good politician? Yeah, I've armchaired quarterback for a while, but I literally spent $3,000 of my own money. That is less than a semester at Regent University for a political science degree, and I learned more than they did. I learned how to do it. I'm one of the few people in Virginia that knows how to get you all the way on the ballot for a state level position. You know how to do that? It's not really that hard. It's some bullshit, and you got to talk to the right people and grease some wheels just getting it. Like bureaucracy doesn't move as fast as the deadline unless you move it along. Because it will get stuck in never mail anything when there's a deadline. Take that shit to Richmond. It's only a 90-minute drive.
So how I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, keep going.
How was that process? Anything you learned from the experience running for office, because you came up short in the race, but still, I mean, you're already speaking so much great stuff. The fact that you said, "Hey, look, I had myself and a friend. I had the small, I used my own money, and I just showed how really at the smallest scale." So what did you learn throughout that whole process?
That it doesn't take money to win. You might say I came up short in the race. There's many different ways of winning. Long shot. There's never been an independent that got far. You get what I'm saying? Nobody's ever won. Yeah. I didn't need to win. I just needed to challenge them. And I needed to wake up everybody else and show. I did this with just a couple drives to Richmond, learning some paperwork, and yeah, it takes some money. I needed some signs. I bought 400 signs. You don't really need signs. I never knocked a single door. But what I did prove by not being out there knocking every door, I went to every day of early voting. I went to every meeting. I do every podcast. I answered every questionnaire. What it actually showed me is people are ignorant when they go vote. They go and vote for red or blue. Do you know how many times? Literally, I was there for 45 days of early voting. You can ask anybody. They respected me for it. I wanted to see. Do you know the number one thing? Why haven't I ever heard of you? Because you're ignorant. I've been on every news article. I've been on every podcast. Anything that has to pertain to this delegate race, I have appeared on. If you're telling me you've never heard of this guy at this point of walking into that voting booth, you ain't doing a lick of research. You're just here to vote red or blue.
Now, you make a great point, and I want to challenge you. I want to kind of challenge you on one thing you said. So I agree 100%. When it comes to voting, we don't have the knowledge, right? Not a lot of people are knowledgeable when it comes to political. Sometimes they're just saying, okay, who's my family voting for, right? Because let's be honest, as a child, you really don't know anything about politics, but you overhear your folks, right? And so when you're, maybe like preteen, you start hearing, you're like, okay, I think I'm this, but then you really start to become your own person. I'll say like college years, right? I'm not even gonna say when you're the age of voting, but I'll say at least college years, and then a little older. We still have people that are in their 50s that are just now starting to say, oh, wow, I was lost the whole time. So I agree 100% as far as when it comes, people are ignorant when it comes to voting, right? If it's not a D or R, boom. Now, when it comes to which party is always in the face of the public eye, because I always have the debate like with friends of mine in Chesapeake. So Chesapeake, in my opinion, I'm a lifelong Chesapeake resident. I consider Chesapeake a very red city. Our council is has maybe, I think I'll just say not 9 people on council, 1 Democrat. Our whole school board, all Republicans. It's been like that for a long time. When it came to campaigns, when it came to voting, I've had so much Republican literature. Every local magazine or newspaper, Republican. So I think when it comes to finances, that's the realm where they can afford Now it can always be, strategies too. Like, what's your campaign strategy? Because I mean, without that, you kind of can, you can lack. But I would say, I will say money helps, but it doesn't help when it helps get in front of the faces, in a sense.
So Kelly, let me just go in on here with my personal experience for my thing. I spent $3,000. Mike Carslake, Republican, spent 170. Don't quote me. Above 150,000. Kelly Fowler spent 330,000. Mike Carslake spent about 80 grand on signs, big old signs with his head everywhere. Do you know Kelly Fowler put up 3 signs? So she had the money. She had the ability to buy signs. Yard signs it shows support. It shows support, but it doesn't buy votes. It doesn't equal votes. Money doesn't equal votes. If you would have given me $30,000 by the average, how much a vote for Kelly Fowler cost versus how much a vote for Mike Carslake cost versus how much my votes cost, give me 30 grand. I won the race by a landslide.
But it's
not about that.
It's interesting though, because I think being that we live in such a digital world, tech world, I mean, you get the text messages galore. You might get a phone call. You get the commercials. But I still think that is not in front of young voters' face, which is interesting, because I feel as though older people are still a lot larger when it comes to voting. Young people, and that's why I always try to advocate for, because I'm 28. I try to advocate people younger than me and my age. Hey, look, you got to know the importance of voting, especially when it comes to your local, what's happening in your backyard, because you can, bitch and moan about the potholes, how many potholes I done ran over in my neighborhood and this, that. But look, that always, you have to, go to some of your city meetings, or at least go on their website and check out what's happening.
The world is ran by the people that show up. Leslie Jones, Soil and Water, made me a button for my campaign because I showed up. Virginia Beach, Soil and Water, Leslie Jones, that's her statement. The world is ran by the people that show up.
Very true.
We're not the smartest, we're just the bravest and got the time on our hands.
You know what? And a buddy of mine who ran for office, he said something very similar. He said, we're always going to, we're the sum of our decisions. We're always going to be the sum of our own decisions. So I agree with you 100% on that one. So one thing, I'm still, I was happy to have you on because you happen to be, you're not married to a specific party. I mean, like, what, if you don't mind, what affiliation do you consider yourself? What kind of views do you yourself?
So I'm one of the few people in Virginia, candidate-wise, that's endorsed by the National Libertarian Party. Do you know what they really like? Do you know what they really liked about me? Ooh. I told them to their face, I'm not a libertarian. And they said, that's cool. I said, I'll always be an independent, because if I was if I followed in line with you to be a libertarian just because you want me to, then I'm not that good of a libertarian. Not doing what I want to do. I want to go forth and I want to advocate for your freedoms, for your liberties. If you want to be gay, be gay. Do it behind closed doors and don't involve anybody else. If you want to do heroin and shoot up, I prefer you not to. Do it behind your own damn closed doors. Don't be a scourge on society out in the open. You want to be homeless? Yeah, no, we're going to provide a bunch of stuff. We're going to go more for like the fiscal conservativeness of the Republicans. I used to tell every single person while running, they said, sum it up. All right, cool. I'm a fiscal conservative. I don't mind building a bigger school for our future and our children and to progress. But don't waste my damn tax dollars on anything stupid. Don't give out safe injection site bags and shit like that. No, but if you want to build, and this is where I differ with a lot of my party, or not even my party, but the people I've been involved in politics with, I'm for the bigger schools in our area. If we can build one school and shut 2 down, and have huge, nice places for when a Cat 5 hurricane ever comes by here and we have to go hide in, cool. I'm for building the big-ass schools. I am. I'm not for the wind farm. I'm a Republican that supports electric cars. I'm a Republican that supports solar on the point of use, not in the big open fields where you lose half of it just over line static going all the way to the population. No, you got a big-ass house, put a bunch of solar on the roof and provide a little bit of it yourself. I'm for common sense green technology. I've got 98 solar panels on my house. Nobody offered to help me do it. I did it because I drive 2 electric cars and I mine Bitcoin for a living. It is my best interest to get the cheapest energy I can. And I've had my solar now for 4 years. You know how much your Dominion bill's gone up over those 4 years? I locked that shit into a 30-year fixed rate. You know, my electric bill is based off of 4 years ago's electric rate on my solar payment.
Hey, look, only on the Arrington Gavin podcast, ladies and gents, when we have conversations like this. I bet you're like saying, Arrington, stepping up in 2024. You damn right I am. I told you, 2024, we're coming at you hard.
The reason I started this, my biggest new passion, I realize my next goal is probably to run again against Kelly Fowler if she runs again for state delegate. I'm not interested in any of these stuff. Where the real power comes is from the state and above. We're a Dillon rule state, so anything the city thinks they can do, they can't do without daddy's attention upstairs, you know? And my issues with the state are at the state level. But I decided to put my whole passion this year into starting a third party. You know, when you're walking up to, we don't even need candidates. We truly don't. We just need to start new events where we're a third event to come to. You know, all the politicians go grandstand at the red events and the blue events, and they just say their palm card there. Well, welcome to the white event, the independent. I hate calling it yellow because it's actually the libertarian color. It's actually a horrible yellow. I kind of like to say,
I'm not a fan of the color yellow. That's just
not there. No. I would much rather say, because I like to say I'm a little L libertarian, not a big L. I'm a lowercase L libertarian. So I like to take the red of the conservative and the yellow of the libertarian and make Bitcoin orange. Because I'm all about auditing the Fed. I'm all about abandoning the American dollar. I'm all about, these are some non-conservative things that come from the libertarian side. So I'd like to call us Bitcoin orange because we're for freedom. The American government right now is just destroying our value of money. If the eggs aren't going up in value, it's your damn dollars going down in value. You know, if you look at everything, this is what I've been doing for the past 4 years is finance. I never even wanted a job. This is a little personal information. I shouldn't say, but it's okay. All right. So I actually have my first job interview in 7 years tomorrow. I literally have never been looking for a job. I've been having a huge crypto firm came and asked me to become their asset manager. I never knew I was qualified for that, but I'm like, actually, I do their job all day long with my finances. I mean, you can see my Bitcoin charts day trading right here. I'm making money as we speak. So I was like, okay, but I've just learned that my biggest thing now is I'm going to connect people. I'm going to bring people together to this new Bitcoin orange, not yellow or white party. And we're going to offer a third party where you can come and just speak. You need to earn us. I've proven in my race, I didn't even knock a single door or go out and mail anything. I didn't do what they do. And I still got 4 to 7% of the vote, depending on what time you look. You know, election night, when they called my race, I had 3,000 votes. You know, in the morning when I woke up, I had 700.
Wow.
So I like to say I have 4 to 7% of my district's vote without even trying, just by being another option. We're gonna, when you walk up to the polls every single time, you always get the blue sheet of paper and the red sheet of paper with the talking heads just on it. Yeah, we're gonna give a mixed bag. These are the people we believe in. They're not gonna toe the party line. Every new question I'm gonna ask a politician when they come to my event, I'm gonna throw at the third party. Tell me 2 things you disagree with your party about. I want to hear it. And don't tell me the same things they just said. Yeah, I want different ones coming in.
No, I love it because, see, the way I was raised, honestly, independent was kind of always flowing in our family. Now we have more independents and Democrats in our family. Even we have, Republicans. We've always had a mixture of people within our family. So growing up, I'm always hearing one side, and I never wanted to be that person. Okay, if we have to do something for the common good, don't you want to bring both sides? I mean, just common sense. I was a kid thinking that, right? So I can never say I'm either a left-leaning independent or a right-leaning independent. I'm like, I voted for Democrats. I voted for Republicans. I vote on person, not party. If I flow with you, hey, you have my vote, right? And that gets me going to our, to the next kind of discussion. The growth right now when it comes to third party, like you mentioned before, you already have 4% of people that said, hey, look, they just want another option. I think that's the world right now. Everybody right now is looking for another option because they're tired of the division. They're tired of unmade promises, being said on both sides. And they're like, look, if we actually have a sit down conversation, if we actually just speak on okay, what issue do we have going on? Where it's going to be maybe 80-20, 80% in agreement, 20% disagreement. And it's hard to really preach that out because, hey, we have media outlets that are always going to spew, because again, we live in a money over moral society. They're going to say, no, we're going to talk about this one, this side, they're going to talk about that one, and then there you go. We rarely have kind of in the middle, news outlets, right? And I'm a guy, I watch them all. I
do too.
all, and people like, how can you? I'm like, I actually enjoy watching the news. I mean, I just do. I love hearing all perspectives. So it's just, I do it for the enjoyment. I usually pick a day and I'm like, okay, this day I'll watch, say, I'm gonna watch Fox morning to midday or morning to the evening or something, or I'll switch it off, like saying, okay, I like this evening news programs, but I like their morning news, or I like their midday. I always have it on, or podcasts, same thing. I don't listen to music that much. I listen
to everything because I want to know how the people I disagree with are going to argue back at me. I want to hear y'all's talking points. So not that I can rebuttal them. I just want to see, I want to know when somebody I don't agree with is just spouting a talking point. If you don't know the talking points, you'll never just recognize the bullshit talking points. I'm done saying certain politicians' names. I don't want to rag on certain people. I've been in their room when they were introducing themselves. They literally just picked up, said, "Hi, my name's blah, blah, blah," and started reading their palm card verbatim. And I'm not just saying one, there's multiple. Like, they were just put in there to repeat the talking points. Me? I don't ask for questions ahead of time. No, I don't. And people were always afraid. They're like, he's so quick-witted. It's not quick-wit when it's what you believe. It's not like I'm remembering what y'all told me to tell you. No, this is, how'd you come up with that so fast? It's because it's what I believe.
You know what's so funny? So I'm friends with so many when it comes to local, state, and officials on both sides, right? And I agree, man. Only but a small group of officials now are saying, look, we need to stop talking. When it comes to, say, running for office, right? They never go into details on their policy. They'll have like a certain, like just a 2 or 3 word blurb. This is what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for parental rights. I'm fighting for equal. I mean, it's like, okay, but be more specific, because again, we go back to the people not having the knowledge when it comes to voting. Like, you never gave me really details of how you're going to do that. So can you please explain the policy more than just shouting out, like you said, palm card information?
Yeah. I could have just read your mailer and gotten all that information. You had 5 minutes of my time in person paying attention to you at a meeting, and you chose to tell me what the mailer, you paid a lot of money. I want to know. That's why my new question is, tell me 2 things you disagree with the Democratic Party about. Please. I'd like to know that, because that shows me the 20%. Do you get what I'm saying? That shows me the 20% that separates you from everybody else in that party. It might be abortion. It might be a prison reform. It might be homeless support. I want to know what is out of, if I'm going to disagree with you 20% of the time, I'd like to know the 20% that it is. Show me what's really bringing us apart. That way we can at least focus on the 80% we do and get some shit done. I don't care. Do you know everybody? All right. So all of the people all right, the real problem is not the candidates or the people. The real party is the people, the donors in the background. You've been to all the events I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You've been to the events. You've stayed on both sides and watched. It's the people that aren't elected or aren't running that are paying for people. Yes, to pool. And I've been in the rooms. I've watched. I've turned down those people where, like, I'll donate you 50 grand. Bitch, I don't want your 50 grand. What's that going to do for me? I don't need 50 grand worth of anybody else's shit. I just need to know when the next meeting you're going to let me speak at, and I'm going to go tell my truth. You're not going to buy me in any way, shape, or form. I don't need your money. I love your money, because then I go blow it on more Bitcoin to make the Bitcoin price go up. People used to always ask me, like, what's in it for you? Why are you doing this? I had 2 real, like, laughable. The world don't take me 100% serious. But if you really want to know what I'm going to take out of this, besides trying to make a better world for my daughter and my future grandkids, would be it'd be kind of cool to be called the Honorable for the rest of my life. If I ever had to go to court for my emu again, Your Honor has to call me the Honorable. It's like, give me a little bit of leverage in my emu case in court. And then after that is every single person I know in politics that's an elected official, they can trade stocks and crypto way better than me, and I've been doing it for 5 years. I want to know how they're beating the market when I've been doing this as a profession and I don't beat the market as often as they do. They're running the state, the country, the city, and still beating the market.
Well, you know what, man? The worst part is, and there's certain candidates on a federal level that's trying to, that's running, and they spoke about this issue. One of the big issues when Congress and Senate doesn't, come eye to eye is because, hey, they have higher up people that they sign a check and say, look, I'm going to get you in there, but you got to help, you got to scratch my back. That's a real thing, man. And it's sad because, like you said, it's not the candidates, it's corporations, right? It's big corporation with all the money. It's millionaires and billionaires that, I mean, honestly, they've been the president for like 20 plus years. You know what I mean? They've been their own.
I was told as a local independent not to piss off some Democratic Virginia billionaire's wife like Sonia or whatever. She's like, just don't piss her off. Fuck her. She gave my opponent like 90 grand for what? What did you buy Kelly Fowler for 90 grand for, Sonia whatever, in the middle of Blacksburg, Virginia? They forget. One of the things I told you I learned how to go on vpap.org and follow all the money. It's so easy now to see who bought. The Republicans this whole past time. This is half the reason I'm so against being called a Republican is I'm for green energy. I told you I want it on the source. I don't want it in the middle of the wind farm in the middle of the ocean that could harm our animals. Well, all the Republicans stood up and were against it. Right? Oh, no, I'm not for it. I'd never take money from Dominion, and I haven't taken any money from Dominion. Yeah, because you took it from Barry Knight, who took $300,000 from Dominion to his campaign because he had no opponent. And then he just started slinging it to everybody else, and you don't have to report Dominion gave you money because Barry Knight's unopposed campaign just gave you all the money. Like, I'm sick of it. If all I have to do is be the squeaky wheel because I learned this, I went through a hardcore college course for $3 grand. They tried to find shit on me to make me stop. Not there. I'm sorry. The best you can do is I own an emu. Let's go. I learned everything about all this, so I'm just going to call everybody out. And anybody that plays the dirty game, mine and my people aren't going to support. We will not have I had the chance of just starting the Libertarian Party of Virginia Beach. Nah, not big enough. Let's go Hampton Roads. That way we can help all of y'all out too. I could have just stayed here in Virginia Beach, but we got more power when we all come together. Are we going to force you to view all of our independent values 100%? No, be free. Be free to think what you want. But please come to our meetings and voice your opinion. As an independent person, you can still leave us and go vote for your party line. But please come experience what the free thinkers are going to be asking, because we're going to ask different questions to every candidate that shows up. Well, they're going to be like, why are they going to show up there? Well, because I proved without spending any money, without campaigning except for early voting, I got 4 to 7% of the vote. Now, let me run with that. I've got the margin of error. I've got the youth vote. I've got the people that are for freedoms. Do what you want. Just leave us alone when it comes to our personal freedoms. If I'm not harming you, what's it matter what I do in the privacy of my own home?
Man, I'm loving this conversation. Look, Nick, we're going to take a quick commercial break, y'all, but when we come back, more with Mr. Nicholas Olenik, look here on the Arrington Gavin podcast.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
What a handsome devil there, I tell you, ladies and gents. By the way, the Arrington Gavin podcast brought to you by Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Rugged is the new smoothie. You know I had to shout him out. Also, some other supporters of the show, I have to shout out Ingenious Gin. They are proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin podcast. Ingenious Gin is a Black-owned, veteran-owned rose gold gin. Now, you know how much I'm a brown guy, right? I love my whiskey. I love my bourbon. I dabble and deal in tequila here and there. Hey, the wife makes me. But anyway, this gin, I'm telling you, it's smooth. I've had it straight on ice. I've had it mixed. It's very, very good. It's available in all ABC stores, wherever you can find it. Hey, look, go online at ingeniousgin.com and find them on social media. And yeah, they're awesome. So I gotta shout them out as well. But back with me is Mr. Nicholas Olenik. Like I said, he ran for Virginia House of Delegate District 96. Has an awesome story about persevering through his depression and having an awesome support animal, man. And we're here just having an awesome conversation talking about third parties and really why it's the new thing, and it's important to have that other option, because let's be honest, the whole two-party system, it ain't working. I talk about that all the time. And I have best friends I consider family on both sides, Republican and Democrats. And I even say, look, man, I just feel as though I respect opinions. So if that's where they line out, hey, I always respect it. But I always say, look, I think for this country, we all got to just come together, start bringing the minds together, and just start thinking, because we're at a hurting time right now, man. But I want to bring up this article, if I can pull it up while we're chopping it up, Nicholas. And this is in regards to the federal race, the presidential race. It's getting kind of juicy. It's getting kind of juicy, right? So this is by Forbes, and it says, hey, why a third party candidate could win the White House of 2024. As you said, it's popping up soon. Here we go. Got to get that going pretty soon. There we go. So what's your take, Nick? Have you been tuning into the presidential race by any chance?
I've been a full-blown, the way I always said it. I don't know if you can see behind me, I got a Trump thing. I like Trump. I like Obama also. I'm all over the place with who I kind of like for what they do. But I told everybody the whole way through I was a Vivek guy all the way up until primary in Virginia. Then I'm voting for Trump just to piss everybody off. For real, Vivek was a breath of fresh air and youthful movement. He had my support. Give me 1 second. I have a very limited edition Vivek Freedom Truckers hat. All the money, and this is why I supported him. All the money from Vivek's hat, this trucker hat, was to reimburse the Freedom Truckers of Canada that stood up for their rights and got their bank accounts seized. I'm for anybody that's willing to buck the system and challenge the authority. It's supposed to work for us, not against us, and not be superior to us. They're supposed to be our bitches. I understood that. When I ran for this office, I wasn't becoming overlord of Kempsville. I was becoming Kempsville's biggest bitch. I work for y'all. Tell me what to do. I am your servant. I'm a servant of the people. I'm humble enough to admit that. You get what I'm saying? So I will support anybody that is going to buck the system. Me and my people are going to represent some Democrats, some independents, some Republicans. All that, just stand up for your liberties, your freedoms, those few things that you are promised I got my Constitution. I carry it everywhere whenever I go speak, just in case somebody tries to challenge me. I know this thing inside and out. I know our state constitution inside and out. And just in case somebody challenges me, what I'm fighting for is not my freedoms, but your freedoms. As long as your freedoms don't interfere with my freedoms. Let's leave our children alone. Children cannot make a decision in court by themselves until they're 18. Leave them the fuck alone until they're 18, and then do what you want. My vision of America and an independent party will support anybody that wants to try. I'd rather catch you with a social welfare safety net after you fail than before you launch. If your rocket something's going wrong with your rocket as it goes off, we'll catch you. I don't care what it takes to catch you, because you tried. You tried. Stop taking care of the people that don't try. Make them try.
Respect. Look, I feel as though I think you're one of the few people that, hey, you already have your decision plan on who you're going to vote for. See, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I will be honest. I am stuck because again, I don't want neither. I don't want to see a repeat. Obviously polls. I mean, I'm a respecter of the polls, and it's showing, Trump's going to be the nominee. He's winning right now in these primaries. But I think it's getting interesting because, again, I go back to that third party, right? People are in desperate need for another option, and honestly, the frustration. And I was talking with a bunch of my Democratic, liberal friends. They're saying they wish that the Democrats could honestly start bringing upon a contender to represent the Democratic Party because they don't want Biden. Here's the thing, and I tell you all the time, Biden was voted in office because people wanted to get Trump out. It wasn't because of Biden's views. It was because now Biden, hey, he made certain promises and that flowed with people while voting for him. But the main thing was get Trump out, have a replacement. Okay, they weren't expecting this man to say, well, I'm running for re-election. What the hell did he say? He said run for re-election? No. And look, both of them are old. Now, let's be honest, both of them show different signs of their ages, but nobody wants to see nobody that's 77. Nobody wants to see that's over 80 years old.
So
finish your
thought.
I was going to say, you have young individuals out there that are passionate to pursue, and they could be at least make a good competition. But the sad thing is, it's just that's not what it's going to be. But I think it's getting really juicy because I'm always watching coverage of when they start interviewing the locals, right? And you hear locals give their point of view. And the funny thing is, even for a lot of Trump voters, they don't like him, the fact that they're voting for him. Their vote, like one guy, he was a fisherman. He said, look, I'm voting for Trump because he supports fishermen, and on top of that, I want my boss to have a tax cut, because if my boss doesn't have a tax cut, damn it, he's going to start making some cutbacks. So it makes sense, once you think of it. Because I was always, I'm not a fan at all of Trump. I'm not at all. I can't stand him. But I don't know him to say I hate him. But I don't agree. I don't agree with it. What is up
in the political realm? The president is a CEO of our country. I will always support a businessman over a lawyer. I will never vote for a lawyer ever again. I don't care for city council. I wouldn't even vote for a lawyer for prosecuting attorney or DA. You get what I'm saying? Like,
well, Nick, after hearing your story earlier, I can imagine you not supporting anybody
how much
in
money
law.
I spend on lawyers? It's like ridiculous. But that's why I said I pick my words. Words mean things, and you need to pick them wisely. I said what I said properly. Up until the primary, I was a Vivek guy. CEO, started something, did something. He's bucking the whole Republican system. Here's why I like Vivek. He's not a Christian, and he's owning the religious right. He's a Hindu. And he's like, nah, I don't even follow your same thing. You're the evangelical. I always say that word wrong.
It's a hard word. Evangelical or televangelist. That's another hard one.
They are even supporting. He is a CEO, a young, youthful guy that has the ability to run something from the ground up and make it prosperous. When's the last Republican that made something? Trump. Herman Cain. I was a Herman Cain guy. 999. Because he built something. He built something with his life. I'm a Ben Carson guy also for the Republican Party, but I don't know any Democrat that y'all put forward. I'm saying y'all, I'm sorry. But the Democrat.
Shame on you, sir.
I'm very used to saying y'all to generalize when I'm talking to people. When's the last time a Democrat a politician built something? John Kerry didn't even build the Heinz fortune that gave him the money. When's the last time somebody built something? And then the people trying to run in politician on, this is why I hate the blue. I don't hate, but I'm against the blue side. The people on the blue side are always trying to destroy the successful people that built something out of nowhere. Like, even if they didn't build something out of nowhere, you're shitting on the people that employ you. You're like just hating your boss the whole way through.
Well, there is one. Well, it's interesting. So there is, I'll say one or two. So there's some new contenders on the Democratic side that strictly that the outlets do not give any TV time, which I appreciate. So I'm a advocate for News Nation, right? Their whole mantra is unbiased. So I enjoy watching News Nation a good majority of the time. They've had Dean Phillips, congressman out of Minnesota. Yep. They've had Marianne Williamson. She's an author business. She's run before, but she's also again trying to go after the big corporations, right? You have Cenk Uygur, right, founder of TYT, the Young Turks. So starting something grassroots, but also
he can't run though for president. You know that, right? The president of the Young Turks. I'm interested. Otherwise, we're gonna get Demolition Man and Arnold Schwarzenegger as president, dog. Like Demolition's gonna. Otherwise, Demolition Man predicted the future. If the Young Turks dude can run, then so can Arnold.
Well, and you know what? Maybe Arnold thought about it, but he's like saying, "Hey, look, I like being he's doing great not being it. I mean, let's be honest. He's like, look, I'm loving life. I got gigs.
Fix the economy."
Yeah.
You don't remember that in Demolition Man? That was awesome. Where President Schwarzenegger, oh yeah, they ratified the 14th Amendment to let him run, and then he just turned America around. I mean, the only other person I'm voting for with 100% enthusiasm is President Camacho. If we don't got President Camacho from Idiocracy,
that is hilarious.
I mean, otherwise it's the same show going on. It's the same show. Yeah, it's disgusting. Can I let you in on another thing I just learned about that I want to go look, and anybody else watching, please start being a watchdog on this. Casinos are starting to pop up everywhere. This is something I've changed just since my campaign till now. Casino revenue. I was going to let y'all do what y'all had to do, tax it, let them be if they want to. Now I'm only willing to do that if we bar lobbyists and elected officials from casinos. The simple fact that they can go into a high-stake poker game and transfer money with only paying capital gains earning, that is how things are going on in the background. People are going to do not open a casino. I mean, we already have the highest grossing casino in the United States isn't in Vegas or Atlantic City. Do you know what state it's in?
Tell me.
Maryland.
Okay, the MGM over there in
National Harbor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many people accidentally lose to somebody they're doing business with just to transfer money. You go into one of those private high-end poker rooms. I have no proof this is going on, but I know it is. And that is what they're popping up all around. The Portsmouth thing going on in there, it pays to just know the servers. You can learn all the bullshit going on just by knowing the people that deliver the drinks.
Interesting.
So you need to watch those casinos popping up, especially around Northern Virginia or your capitals of power, because a lobbyist might just go play a congressman in the middle of a high-stake poker thing and lose after all inning on nothing.
Hey,
there is nothing illegal about that as long as they pay the capital gains tax and the table fee to the casino.
Look, people, you continue to learn something new every day, man. Look, has there been any third-party candidates that at least caught your attention, or you say, okay, if he I always say this, like, regardless of who wins, I always say, look, can I live under an administration, or can I live under them being? I mean, yeah, I mean, we've obviously I think we take little things for granted, right? Because when I always hear people saying, "Oh God, we're screwed," I'm like, dude, do you have a home? Is it paid for? Well, yeah, that's a nice car. Is that your? Yeah, I'm just saying, like, people really fall out in the middle of nowhere, like, oh God, like, calm down. You still have a job. You still have a family. Like, think of the little things, people. But I want to ask Nick, like, has there been any third-party candidate that at least say, okay, look?
Yeah. Will you bear with me on my explanation? Bear with Donald Trump. He is the most libertarian person ever that has hijacked the Republican Party. He's not a Republican. That's why they're trying to push Nikki Haley down our throats so much, because this libertarian, the guy fighting for your liberties, for your money, for your border, for your security, he's going against every single one, and his own party is fighting so hard against him because he's not a Republican. He is more of my libertarian, but he knew you couldn't do it. Remember, back in 2016, you couldn't do it as a libertarian then. You probably could now. He had to do it as a Republican, so that my favorite independent candidate hijacked him. Do you think he takes any money from the big Republican Party? That's independent to me. The entire party is fighting as hard as he can not to let him represent them. But he's getting 60% of the vote. And the party's still fighting against him. So he is the #1 independent candidate I support all the way through. I like a little bit of RK, but I don't even give him time.
So okay, let me play a little devil's advocate.
Yeah,
Would you say that another reason why I say, certain Republicans are not a fan or would like to have Trump in office? I mean, would you say, hey, look, whenever time he comes, it's like something toxic, toxic kind of comes with him. Chaos might come. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you wanted to hire or, someone to run your company, yet you read a portfolio and saying, hey, look,
I got it. So you're talking about toxicity and him hurting people's feelings, correct? Toxicity, ruffling feathers, hurting. Your feelings aren't protected. My gun, my rights, those are protected. If me having an open carry firearm hurts your little sensible feelings, boo-hoo. They're not fucking protected at all. Not a single protection is given to your individual feelings. So, yeah, no. If all we're hurting is your feelings for trying to do what we feel is right, not sorry. Your feelings are not protected. Not a single protection is granted to your feelings in any law.
Let me tell you something, Nick. I definitely have to have you. Look, you have an open invitation 24/7 to come here.
Whenever you want. I told you, I accept every offer to get out there and speak. If you don't know of me, it's because you don't care about this area and its political movement. I do not speak for the party I helped get off the ground. My only job in this libertarian party I'm helping work out is recruitment management. I am for bringing more people to them. I am not the chair, the co-chair, the secretary, the anything. I am a candidate. Let other people have what I'm trying to build, because it's not mine, it's everybody's. If you want to come, I would like to request anybody that wants to come, meet something better, and have a voice. You might not have a voice in your blue or in your red groups that you go to watch politicians speak. Everybody will get to ask a question if they want, and we will respect any candidate that wants to come to us. We are going to ask you different off-the-script messages and questions. But please be brave enough to come face your constituents. You still represent us too. We're just the squeaky middle. And as I've proven in my adventure, it's 4 to 7% without even trying. Imagine if I tried.
I like it. I like it. One thing I do appreciate you, Nick, the fact that you just said, hey, look, anybody and everybody is welcome, and the fact of the matter is you're respecting other people to share their viewpoints. I think that's one thing that we have to remember, ladies and gents, is the fact that when you have a disagreement with somebody, please hear them out. I can't stand when I'm listening to people just yelling on top of each other. I'm like, can someone wait? Can you let him finish? That's one thing that's always like just it's annoying as hell. It's annoying as hell. So I appreciate you, man. Sharing your story, sharing your building up the party that you're talking about, the third party that you're discussing, the Libertarian Party. And like I said, you're always welcome to the pod, man. And we gotta grab a drink, man. We gotta grab some wine or something.
Hey, you know how to get a hold of me. I just like hanging out and talking and getting people together. We got more in common than we got apart. Let's not let anybody hate each other before we figure out that we hate each other. And guess what? If we hate each other, cool. We still gotta respect each other because we exist in America. Like, come on now. I'm not going to hate you for any other reason than you deserve it.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I've already spoken people. Like, I'm jealous of Nick just because, the man cave setup. But, I'm not going to let that, hurt our relationship. The fact that he has has a support animal, an emo. No, I'm not going to let that, I'm just saying. I'm a little jealous. But at the end of the day, hey, look, I just made a new friend. And Nick, man, look, don't go anywhere. Look, y'all, Nick and I, we're going to chop up just a little bit longer. But, hey, thank you so much. I'm going to keep Nick backstage. But look, y'all, I hope you enjoyed another great conversation here on the Arrington Gavin podcast. Once again, this is a show where not only do we just share stories and topics in the fields of sports, politics, and pop culture, but by changing the narrative is, like I mentioned, the mission. And to help with that mission, I always bring on individuals from all walks of life. Yeah, look, we don't always have to agree, but we can at least respect each other and agree to disagree respectively, okay? And at the end of the day, that's the way life is, man. You have to respect others' opinions. And I just truly appreciate Mr. Nicholas Olenik for taking out the time out of schedule coming on the show. Also, please be sure to tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. So wherever you listen to your podcast, iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast. Also, let's see. Oh, you can watch the video version of this podcast on our YouTube channel, R Smooth Club Media. Okay, that's the letter R, and then Smooth, and then Club, and then Media. So subscribe, hit the like button. I truly appreciate it. And then you can subscribe to us on Rumble as well. Subscribe to us on Rumble, Facebook, R Smooth Club Podcast, and then on X, formerly known as Twitter. Yes, we are on that platform as well. So, like I said, R Smooth Club Media on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter. Continue to support the show Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Okay, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via on video. We're on all digital platforms. I truly appreciate it. Till next time, y'all be easy. Peace and blessings. And yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna go finish this wine. It's really good. Peace.